Hey guys, it's Rob here, and Anthem sales are not doing good. Anthem's physical sales are half of Mass Effect Andromeda's physical sale, which is really saying something because when Mass Effect Andromeda released, it had a lot, and I mean a lot of bad press around it, and a lot of people hated that game, which is pretty similar to the situation right now. And not only that, Anthem's first week sales in the UK are only 10% of Destiny's first week sales in the UK. Now, of course, this doesn't account for digital sales, but how far can that bump it past the number that Destiny has, which is 417,000 copies to Anthem's 40,000 copies. That's not all the trouble that Anthem is running into right now either. Forget about the sales, forget about bioware possibly being on EA's cutting board, forget about all of that. In my own experience, Anthem's loot, Anthem's story, the two main things that people stick around for in a looter shooter are very, very weak. I'll be blunt, it's really bad, it's crappy, it's shitty, which I'll go into depth in my Anthem review, which will be up this Saturday, but it's not really good and it's a big problem in Anthem right now. Anthem was not a complete package at launch. It had a crappy story, it has very, very generic loot that barely looks different, it doesn't have a lot to keep players around, the story isn't good, there's a lot of wrong with Anthem that should have been a lot better. They had 6 years to finish this. 6 years! This should have been jam-packed with content. EA and BioWare, and not just EA and BioWare, game developers in general need to learn that they need to launch their games full and complete without bugs. Now, of course, some bugs here and there are fine. I would not rather have any bugs in it, but that's not realistic. But they can't be game-breaking bugs. They can't take you out of the immersion. They have to be fixed. They need to be full of content, especially looter shooters. Looter shooters are one of those games that need loot, different kind of loot, not just a couple different kind of loot that's different rarities and just slightly stronger. It needs to work different. It needs to act different. It needs to attack different. These are the things in looter shooters that people love. They love getting this new loot that changes up the gameplay and gives your character a boost in strength. When that doesn't happen in, let's say, Anthem, it's a big problem, and one that's a big problem for Anthem right now. And speaking of BioWare, you have to start asking the question, what happens to BioWare now? Of course, at last E3, we got that tease for Dragon Age 4 with the Dread Wolf, which that kind of points to Solus being the enemy of Dragon Age 4, which I think would be very, very interesting. Especially if you can carry your character from Dragon Age 3 to Dragon Age 4 and have that world still work. But if EA puts BioWare on the chopping block, I don't think that's going to happen. What's going to happen is Dragon Age 4 could possibly be cancelled or be in trouble, or something bad could happen to Dragon Age 4 that makes it not happen. Or even when Dragon Age 4 is released, EA's effect could happen to Dragon Age 4 where they try to jam-pack it with microtransactions and release it in a state like Anthem, or maybe even if they try to make it a games as a service game and make it into like an MMO or something like Anthem, which is something that shouldn't happen to Dragon Age. Dragon Age should be a single player experience. If they want to put multiplayer in it like they did in Dragon Age 3, fine, but don't let it affect the single player. And that's not even to mention the people that work at BioWare. What happens to them? What happens to their job? They launched Anthem to the minimum requirement for content and story-wise, to later fill it with this free DLC they were so proud to talk about. And it really makes me wonder if this free DLC that they were proud to talk about was just content that was just cut out from the beginning. Companies need to learn that making a full game will bring you more money than an incomplete one. It's as simple as that. That's why Nintendo's IPs do so good. They're fun, they're complete, rarely have any bugs or glitches, and are full of content. What amazes me is that they spent 6 years on this. 6 years! This game should have had a crap ton of content from the beginning with different guns, abilities, javelins, enemies, missions, and a fantastic, well-crafted story. Somewhere along the line, something happened in the development of Anthem. It's going to be an interesting story to hear if it ever comes out. I think Anthem can still be saved. If EA just buckles down and takes BioWare and they work together and fix this game, I think it can be something really special. But if not, I think BioWare might be in trouble and Anthem might be in trouble too, including any BioWare projects like Dragon Age 4. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave your thoughts about this down in the comment section below and leave a like. It helps the video reach more people. I do gaming news every Tuesday through Friday, so subscribe to the channel for my next video. Thanks for watching and have a good one.